Hi guys, welcome back to Flora Fun and Food. My name is Lauren and today I'm going to show you how I dried some beautiful flowers and made them into jewelry. Let's go. Okay, I stole these teeny tiny little, I think they're violets or Johnny Jump Ups, whatever they're called, from my mom. Sorry, Mom. But they were too cute and I just had to have them. So we're going to dump these out and I'm going to trim off the stem and lay it on my paper towel. Then I'm gonna lay them kind of flower side down just so the petals can kind of lay flat. And then I'm gonna cover it with another paper towel. And we're gonna take a microwave safe baking dish or just any kind of weighted thing that can go in the microwave. I'm gonna press it down and I'm gonna go put this in the microwave for 60 seconds and then check on it and then just do 30-second increments until they are completely dry. So I will be right back. All right, these took about 3 minutes in the microwave, and then I did it for an extra minute just to be sure. But we'll carefully peel it off. Oh, you can see like a couple of them got a little dark. I'm gonna peel these off without tearing them. I already tore one, so we're gonna use what I should have done in the first place and just get some tweezers to scrape them off. All right, I had a few kind of mishaps. They kind of stuck to the paper towel. So I'll leave the extra kind of messed up ones over to the side, but I do have these 3. So I think I'm gonna make a pair of earrings out of the 2 smaller ones and a necklace out of the larger one. I picked out these gold teardrop bezels from my supplies because I think that the deep purple and the yellow really complement the gold well. I do have the same bezels in silver, but I liked the gold. So we're gonna get our resin tape here. It's just packing tape. You can just use regular old packing tape. I like to fold over the edge so I have something to hold on to, and then cut a strip off. And this is gonna be where we do our resin. So we're gonna push our bezels down onto the tape to make a nice seal at the bottom. Then I have this UV resin here, and I'll link where I purchase everything down below in case you wanna do the same thing. But we're gonna just fill these bezels about halfway up, making sure to touch all the edges and get into that point at the top and give a nice coat all the way around. And don't worry if there are bubbles, we can get rid of those in just a second. Now you can use a heat gun to help get rid of the bubbles, or you can just use fire. And I'm gonna move my very delicate, very dry flowers out of the way. And we're just gonna put a flame to this and the bubbles rise to the surface and pop. You could also use a toothpick to kind of pop any bubbles or pull them to the surface. Now I'm just gonna use this nail UV lamp and set it for 2 minutes to cure our resin. Alrighty, our timer went off, so I'm gonna go ahead and just add a little layer of resin again, and this is gonna act like glue to hold our flower in place so that it doesn't float. Flowers are notorious for floating in resin, so that's why you have to do this in layers. So a very thin layer just to cover the whole thing. Again, a lighter just to get rid of the bubbles. Then we'll take our flower and stick it down into our resin here. And then I'm gonna use a Q-tip just to gently move it to where I want it. Toothpicks can sometimes poke holes, so just be very gentle. Light again, I'm just gonna do a minute. Now I'm gonna turn this over and do another minute on the back side. All right, we're gonna flip it back to the front again and then just top everything with more resin. And I like to kind of bubble this up a little bit just to kind of give it that 3D effect. But if you do too much, it will become a giant mess. So just be careful. You can always add more in another layer if you want. So I'm gonna be very careful and burn out my bubbles again. I do have some bubbles hanging out on the petals, so I'm gonna move them very carefully with a toothpick Kind of pull them up to the surface. Sometimes they'll pop on their own like that. Sometimes you might need to hit them with the heat again. All right, 2 minutes on this side. So I did have a few bubbles kind of rise to the surface that must have been underneath the petals, but I still think they look really pretty. Bubbles are gonna happen, it's okay. So we're gonna pull these off of the tape, and there's the back and the front. I think these turned out so cute. So I was just gonna leave them as is and put them on an earring hook, kind of like that, but I think I kind of want to make them look like a little whimsical sun catcher. So I dug out my chandelier crystals again. If you've seen my previous videos, you can see how I use these for other jewelry, but I'm gonna put it together and see if I like it. I may go back to just plain, but let's try it with a crystal because I think it'll just make it really sparkly and pretty. So we'll add a jump ring and then close up a smaller jump ring to add to it. That's gonna go on our earring hook. So just close up the jump ring there, and then we'll add a jump ring to the bottom of the crystal and add our pendant. We'll add our ear hook here. Okay, I think I really like it with the crystal. I think it kind of gives it a little bit more character, a little more personality than if it was just the pendant. So I'm gonna do that to the rest here. For the necklace pendant, I just need to add a large jump ring to the top so that I can just attach it directly to the necklace. And we'll close it up here. So here is our final result. I think these turned out super pretty, and I'm trying to decide if I want to keep them for myself or possibly give them to my mom, you know, as a gift because they are her flowers that I stole after all. But I love them either way. I think the shape and the color just turned out so pretty with these bezels and these flowers and the crystals. So I'm really excited to have these now. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and head over to my channel to subscribe for more content like this. And I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.